Okay, Sago, Six Nations. Another month has flown quickly by, and here we are for our regular update for the month of June and 2016, and we'll be reporting on stuff that's happened over that past month and stuff you need to know about. So we'll start with Public Works, and just to let everyone know that the elected council is avidly pursuing funds so that we can complete some priority projects, such as the replacement of Bridge Number 9, which is located on 4th Line between Chiefswood Road and Tuscarora Road. And that's the road just going up by the police station. We're also working on finalizing the funding for this fiscal year so that we can complete this bridge replacement from August to November. I know we're doing a lot of construction and infrastructure in the community, but we need to do it when we can get the funding available, and now is the time to do it. Anyway, if we do get the funding for this bridge replacement, that bridge will be taken out and will be closed. We're also looking to get funding to complete some much needed work on the schools' roofs and the eaves troughs. And we want to get that done before school starts to ensure that there's a safe school environment for the faculty and the students. And we hope to, as I say, get the funding for both of these projects and get them completed this summer. So we appreciate your cooperation, and I know there's disruptions, but we really appreciate your cooperation because we are doing all these things for the benefit of our community. The recommendation made as a result of the 20 years waste management study for our community, which I've talked about before, was to export our waste to a private company, either by a transfer station or a direct drive. So we're now following up with Indian Affairs to clarify what the funding percentage will be so that we can make an educated decision on how to move forward with our waste management strategy. They have promised to give us clarification on their decision by the end of July. And at that time, we will assess all the information and make a firm decision on how to proceed with our waste management. Once we do that, we'll ensure that it is communicated to the community. I am pressuring our Regional Director General to try and get this moving along faster and hopefully get us a decision before the end of July. We're also looking at evaluating all of our options with respect to the remaining disintegration system equipment that is still sitting down at the landfill. But in the meantime, we are pleased to announce that we are going to allow and we support the Six Nations Fire Department, who has an initiative to turn that blue building at the landfill site into a fire and emergency services training center for other First Nations. And they're going to be doing this on a trial basis. As I said, it's not a permanent thing, just on a trial basis. And it's also an initiative that will try and generate some revenue for our fire and emergency services department. So everybody knows downtown Ohsweken is starting to look like downtown Toronto with the traffic and the construction. So I just want to give an upgrade on the project. It's now well underway, and it is scheduled to be completed in October. I want to talk about the water because we are planning to connect water services in mid to late July. This is to the new pipes that were put in. So this is going to impact all the buildings and services in the area, as well as east of the intersection of 4th Line and Chiefswood Road. We are hoping to minimize the disruption as best we can. However, the truck fill station will not be available for a day within this time. We will work to provide notice to the community well in advance of any planned service interruption. The contractor will also now be working on rebuilding and widening the north and south ends of Chiefswood Road, which will cause further disruption and traffic congestion in the Ohsweken area. We're also considering additional work, such as installing a sidewalk down Sunrise Court, extending the widening to the south leg of Bicentennial Trail, upgrading and adding LED streetlights to the project area, and upgrading the guardrail around Veterans Park. I would also like to ask the community to please be patient and not to take detours through the administration parking lot or the J.C. Hill and Jameson school grounds. We do have a summer program going on at J.C. Hill, and in the past, we've had several near misses occur because people are speeding through these areas to get around the construction. We appreciate your patience and your understanding as we undertake this project, which, as I said, is for the benefit of the community. And we apologize for any inconvenience that this may cause. So please be prepared to give yourself some extra time to get to and from the village area, as there will be these traffic delays due to the construction. At the same time, we are also resurfacing a couple of roads. Road 141, which is 3rd Line between Batemont Line and Mohawk Road, and Road 187, which is 7th Line between Cayuga and Oneida Road, are being resurfaced as of July 6. this is expected to be completed in mid to late August. So again, please drive carefully on these sections of the road while this project is taking place. The council is also working toward having the splash pad open to the community by mid-August of this year. So this is going to be good news for the kids, especially with this hot weather we're having. So please follow our social media accounts and read the newsletter for updates as to the actual date in which it will be open. The new Dajo building, which is our Youth and Elders Center, is scheduled to be substantially complete by July 22nd. And we've set a tentative date of August 18th at 1:30 p.m. for the grand opening. So depending on the construction progress and any unforeseen issues, this date might change, so please follow the elected council's social media accounts and read the newsletter for updates as to the actual date that the grand opening will take place. We also have a group of artists who are working with Bonnie Whitlow and others at Wilfrid Laurier University, and they're going to be painting a mural on the back of the new Youth and Elders Center, which is facing the sports field and the blue track. So that's going to liven up that place and brighten it up. I want to talk a bit about border crossing issues. Community members have been approaching my office with some of the issues they're having crossing the border, like being asked for to provide blood quantum letters, or if they want to live and work in the U.S. that they have to apply for green cards. So I've been having a number of discussions via email and conference call with the Department of Homeland Security and United States Citizen and Immigration officials, but I haven't been really getting anywhere. So finally, we had a meeting on June 22nd. I went to Buffalo, New York, and along with Councillor Ray Miracle and Jan Burning, the manager of our Lands and Resources, and had a meeting there. And we were joined by Chief Steve Thomas from Akwesasne, and Chiefs Bill Diabo and Gus Nahawi Sky Deer from Ganawagi. Jeff Stonefish, who's with the Association of Iroquois and Allied Indians, also joined us. And so we traveled to Buffalo and we met with the Assistant Secretary for the Department of Homeland Security. His name is Phil McNamara. And we talked about the border crossing issues, which are the green card and the blood quantum, plus some other stuff. So it was confirmed to us at that time by one of the legal people that were there that our citizens do not need a green card to live or work in the United States, as long as they can prove that they are status Indians from Six Nations. The person there said that the problem may be with the employers, if you're working for an employer, because there's a form they call an I-9 form that people have to fill out, and there's nothing in there to indicate whether you're a status Indian or not. So they're going to work on that, and in the meantime, I've asked her to supply me with a letter stating that we do not need to get green cards if we want to live or work there. So I haven't got that yet, but I'll keep on them until I get it, and we'll be able to provide that to people if necessary. With respect to some of the other issues crossing the border, we are following up with the Border Security Officer, who is with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and I've scheduled another meeting with him for the end of this month. So we'll be going back to Buffalo to talk to him about the blood quantum letters and any difficulties people may have when they're trying to get to the border. This is with the U.S. or going into the U.S. So if anybody has any other issues, please let Arlene Miracle in my office know, because she's the Community Liaison Officer, and we can address those when we go to that meeting. And we're going to continue to have regular meetings with the Border Security Officer. We also stress to them the need for their border crossing guards to have more cultural, historical, and sensitivity training. And he was told us that if anybody feels that they are being unduly harassed at the border by any of the guards, that they should just ask for a supervisor, go into the police and ask that you want to speak to the supervisor and let them know, and or else try and get the name and the badge number of the guard. So we're working on these things to try and make it easier for us to get access into the United States when we have to cross the border. We're also going to be working with Akwesasne. They're going to try and get meetings with us for the Canadian side on the Canada Border Services Agency. So we'll work with them on that too. And we'll keep the community informed as we make progress on these issues.